Who's in charge?
I am.
Hey, where's Conrad? Conrad! Oh, Conrad! Conrad Hart! Where are you?
Thank y'all for coming tonight. Would you be quiet and go back there a minute?
I'm hungry.
What?
I'm hungry.
You're hungry?
I didn't get a chance to eat.
I thought you had some beans this afternoon.
That's gone with the wind. Tell you, I'm hungry.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to look at the ears and hair on the puppet.
What? Hey,
Does
Conrad,
that-
what's this? Hello? Hello?
Goes right on through.
It sure does, doesn't it? He's got the ears, yeah. Like that, yeah. Lights.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Philip Jones from Columbia, South Carolina. I would like to present to you a fellow South Carolinian. He has 21 years in the entertainment field. He has 12 years criminal justice. He has been on cruise ships throughout the world. He is a superb puppeteer with a very, very nice duck. You're going to like him. He is a superb singer to boot. We are so proud to have down here in Beaufort for the second year in a row. Ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome from West Columbia, South Carolina, Mr. Jeff Flanders.
Okay, we're going to start a little fun thing off tonight. Oh, my name is Jeffrey Flanders. I'm from old South Carolina. I've been tickled by almost everything. Now, I've been tickled by a feather. I've been tickled by a wasp. I've been tickled by a yellow bumblebee. And it goes like this. Look out, here it comes, watch it. Oh, there it is. I'm enjoying everything. What are you laughing at? I got to get my stand here. Hang on a second. I have to bring everything. How's everyone tonight? Boy, you're sounding good out there. I love people who sound good and like to laugh and have a good time and all that stuff. And I brought my special friend with me. Her name is Gertrude, and she's a duck. How many of you got a pet duck at home? That's what I figured. Only one person as stupid as I am. Come here, young lady. Excuse me. Come on out here.
What's that noise?
Well, there happens to be an audience out here.
I don't see your body.
Well, your hat's over your eyes.
Well, fix it, big boy. Hiya, sport.
My name is not
Big boy.
Gertrude. Don't call me that,
Why not?
'cause I'm not.
Yes, you are.
Not it. Why do you call me that?
'Cause you're fat.
No, that's not funny.
That's what it was.
Listen,
What?
want you to tell them how much you've been looking forward to coming to the great town of Beaufort, city of Beaufort.
Where?
Beaufort.
Beaufort?
Yeah.
Where's that?
Well, it's just up the road from Hilton Head.
Yeah.
You like that place?
Sure do.
Why?
I want to play golf.
You play golf?
I sure do, big boy.
You can tee off?
No, but I can tee people off.
You can tee people off. Okay?
Shut your mouth.
Gertrude, now wait a minute. I want you to... listen, let's take the hat off, okay?
For what?
Gertrude,
That's my hat.
I know that's your hat. Well, put it back a little farther here like that.
You want my hat? You see that, big boy? Fat show.
Now, you do that, and you know, you owe me an apology. That's not nice. You realize you're making a fool out of me in front of these people?
I sure do.
Why don't you just be yourself?
That's what I'm doing. I take these hair off of my eyes.
All right.
Tip,
What?
put my hair on.
Why?
So it's hot in here.
What? That's all the more reason to keep it on. Now, you know, being in Beaufort and being a beautiful theater like this at the University of South Carolina Beaufort campus,
Do what?
well, you're educated, aren't you?
I sure am.
How smart are you?
Real smart.
What's your IQ?
23.
That's your eyesight.
That too.
You know, but being here, and you know there's a very special guest here tonight.
Who's that?
Everyone is here to see somebody special.
That's me, big boy.
No, they didn't come to see you.
I bet they did. What's that?
What?
That red light.
The red light?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a camera.
Are you taking my picture?
That's what he's doing.
I'm gonna slap your face.
Gertrude. Now that's not nice. You owe me an apology. You have called me
Fat.
Gertrude. You've made fun of the man with the camera here.
What's your name, big boy? Answer me.
Gertrude, don't do that.
Read my lips. What is your name?
Gertrude.
Fix my hat.
Gertrude, it's all right.
Don't worry about it.
All right.
What's your name?
I don't think he's going to talk to you.
I don't think it can. What's your name, sport? Tony what?
Tony Bradshaw.
What do you do?
I own the place.
Uh-oh. I don't care. I'll slap your doggone face.
Gertrude, stop that. Now that's not nice. You be nice here. Our time is almost up, and we got a lot of people here tonight. We have someone very special.
Who?
Don't you remember?
Come on, my boom kid.
No, that's not it. Who's probably one of the most famous marionettes you've ever seen in your entire life? Somebody that I watched as a kid.
That was a long time ago.
No, I'm not that old.
Oh, yes, you are.
Gertrude,
What?
I want you to tell me right now, right in front of all of these people,
What?
I want you to tell them that you're sorry.
Do what?
I want you to say you're sorry
Right now?
right now.
In front of all these people?
Yeah.
That was my hat.
You'll get it back whenever you apologize. I want you to say you're sorry.
Somebody took my picture.
Don't worry about that.
Okay.
Say, I'm sorry.
He's sorry.
Gertrude,
What?
say you're sorry.
You're sorry.
You're supposed to say it in the first person.
Do what?
The first person says, I am.
Am a jerk.
No, you say, I am sorry.
You sure are.
Listen to me.
What?
You do it and do it right.
Don't touch me, boy.
You say you're sorry. I want you to apologize and do it right. I want you to show these folks at least one slight shred of decency left in you.
Okay.
Now, you apologize.
Okay.
No, say I'm sorry.
Don't make me do it.
Gertrude. Now, take your hands down.
Okay.
Look up at me.
Do I have to?
Yes. Look at me.
Okay.
Now say, I'm sorry.
But I want you to.
I know you do.
Oh.
And if you do, you'll say you're sorry because time's up.
Okay.
Say, I'm sorry. No, out loud. Say, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Use the microphone.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Louder.
I'm sorry.
Good girl.
Don't touch me.
Say goodnight, Gertrude.
Good night, Gertrude. Bye-bye.
It's my job to introduce the next person to you this evening. And this gentleman is a native of Ridgeland, South Carolina. He's been carving wooden puppets and entertaining for the past 26 years. In 1970, he was a clown with the Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Circus. A University of South Carolina graduate and producer of tonight's show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Beaufort's own Conrad Hartz.
Thank you very much. I need the help of a little girl right now. Would somebody volunteer to come up on stage? Okay? Come right up on stage. I'll be right back. Now, I have a little marionette for you. Cut on the music, please, sir. Can you work the marionette? There you go.
Can't you see I love you? Please don't break my heart in two. That's not hard to do, 'cause I don't have a wooden heart. And if you say goodbye, then I know that I would cry. Maybe I would die, 'cause I don't have a wooden heart. There's no strings upon this love of mine. It was always you from the start. Treat me nice, treat me good, treat me like you really should. 'Cause I'm not made of wood, and I don't have a wooden heart. Musik zum Städtele hinaus, Städtele hinaus, und du, mein Schatz, bleib bleibst hier. Muss ich denn zum Städtele hinaus und du, mein Schatz, bleibst hier. There's no strings upon this love of mine. It was always you from the start. Sei mir gut, sei mir gut, sei mir wie du wirklich sollst. Wie du wirklich sollst, 'cause I don't have a word in hold.
Give a big hand. Go ahead with next music. Remember that.
Well, I say, come on over, baby. We got chicken in the corner. Woo, huh? Come on over, baby. Well, I got the bull by the horn. We ain't faking. Oh, lot of shaking going on. Yeah, let's shake, baby, shake. I said, shake, baby, shake. I said, shake, baby, shake. Let's shake, baby, shake. Come on.
How about it for Conrad Hart? Please give a warm Beaufort welcome to Kentucky's own Colonel Bill Boley.
Oh, thank you very much. My name is Bill Boley, and I'm a ventriloquist. When I was a little boy, about this tall, found out I could throw my voice and make some funny sounds. One of the first things I learned to do was to catch my voice in a glass. What I would do, I would yell in the glass, put my hand over the top, catch the voice inside, and then I could carry it around with me and let it come out anytime I wanted to. Got in a lot of trouble with that at school. Sounds like this when you do it. I'll try to catch one. Hello? Hello? I'll do another one. Hello? Hello? A real long one. Hello? Hello? Thank you. How are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
That's pretty difficult, but the most difficult thing to do is to catch a whistle in a bottle. You have to be pretty fast. I caught the voice in the glass. Let me get a bottle and I'll show you how to catch a whistle. I'll get ready. A whistle. Two whistles. This next one is very difficult. I'll try. Oh boy, all that applause about brings me to tears. But speaking of tears, you know, I've heard people say that it's unmanly for a grown man to cry. And I don't know why they say that, because I'll be the first to admit, now sometimes I cry. Usually when I cry, I try to cry in private somewhere. I don't cry out in public. The reason I don't, you see, when I cry, it comes out kind of funny. It sounds something like this. I don't like for people to hear me cry. I guess I used to do that when I was a kid. I was going through a mall the other day, and a lady had a baby, and she was walking along with it, and her shoe was untied. She kept stepping on the string, and I said, my goodness, that lady's going to fall with that baby in a minute. And she got up where I was, and I said, lady, your shoe's untied. If you want me to hold the baby, I'll hold him for you while you tie your shoe. And I stood there and held the baby, and I didn't know how to hold it. See, men don't know how to do things. I'd hold it like this way, and then I'd hold it like that, and every way I held it, it cried, bawled and squalled. And when she got her shoe tied, I give the baby back, and I said, boy, I must have been hurting the baby, wasn't I? She said, oh, no, you wasn't hurting him. I said, what? Why was he crying? She said, oh, he got the colic. And I said, what do you do for him when they got a colic? What's that? She said, oh, you just put them on your shoulder and burp them. But see, men don't know that, do they, Travis? They don't know. No, you got to burp them, and men don't know. I'm going to show you how it is. A lot of times if a man tries to take care of the baby and he don't know what he's doing, I'm going to get an imaginary baby. I'll get one right over here. Cute little fella, and would the little baby like some sugar? Boy, this baby's got bad breath. Oh, I'm sorry. It wasn't his breath. Let me get him turned around. Scope in the morning won't help that. I think he's got the colic. I'll burp him maybe. That's when you get that old yellow stuff all over your shoulder. Men don't know how to do that. They get careless with the baby. They go to burp them and they do it about like this. I'm sorry. Did I hurt you? It's a tough kid. Would you like to have your bottle? Men will get it right out of the refrigerator. Give him the bottle. He's crying. They'll hold it up over his head about like this and wave it around. You're going to get it. Here it comes. And the baby goes right off to sleep. He's afraid not to. I'm going to bring out a little friend of mine that performed with me on cruise ships for about 13 years, and he's a bird. He's a crow, and I'm going to bring him out and let you meet him. Let me get him for you. Why don't you tell them who you are?
Huh?
Tell them who you are.
Tell them
Yeah.
who I are.
Who I am.
You don't know who you are.
I know who I am. You tell them who you are.
I are.
I am a so-and-so.
You are a so-and-so. Well, you don't look like a so-and-so.
Your name.
My name?
Yeah.
My name, Jose Gonzalez Rodriguez Gomez
Jones.
Kenda Phillip Jones.
I see. What are you, Spanish?
No, I'm Cuban.
Cuban, how'd you get in the United States?
I was hijacked by a hot canary.
Well, you're a funny-looking bird.
Well, so are you.
Yeah. I mean, you look different from any bird I ever saw.
Well, I am different.
Yeah. What do you do that's different?
I lay eggs.
Yeah. Nothing different about that.
Let's see you do it.
I don't lay eggs. How many eggs do you lay?
Oh, I just lay one egg a day.
One egg a day.
An egg a day keeps Kentucky Fried Chicken away. That's what I always say.
Is that all you lay? Just one egg a day?
Well, one day I laid 5 eggs.
5 eggs in one day.
Well, actually, what happened was I swallowed a rubber band and I laid the same egg 5 times. You think that ain't hard on you? That's a lot of wear and tear, you know where.
Well, I didn't bring you out here to lay an egg. Why don't you lay an egg for these folk?
Huh?
Would you lay them an egg?
Oh, you gotta be kidding.
Right now, would you do that?
Well, I'll try.
Yeah.
I don't feel too good tonight.
What's wrong?
I went out last night with a chicken.
You went out with a chicken?
Yeah, I went with a chicken. She's a good chicken.
Yeah. But you're a crow.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah. And you went with a chicken?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just didn't know that crows and chickens.
Well, we do.
Yeah.
Heck, I did.
Yeah.
I did one time with a buzzard. Buzzards is hard to get.
Yeah.
Gotta go out in the middle of the desert and lay down and play dead.
Would you lay them an egg?
Well, I'll try.
Yeah.
I'll lay one if you catch it.
If I'll catch it.
Yeah.
I'll catch it. I don't want you to drop it.
I don't want to lay a scrambled egg either.
Yeah.
Here we go. You catch it. Yeah. Are you ready?
I'm ready if you are.
I'm ready if you are too.
Okay.
It's gonna be a deal.
Lay them a great big one.
Huh?
Lay them a big egg.
I'm not gonna bust my rear for this crowd.
Lay them a big one.
It'll be big. Yeah, here it comes. Get set.
Nothing down there.
I'm not through yet. That's a day's work for a bird.
I know that.
Here it comes. I'll get it this time. Here we go.
Yeah.
All set?
All set.
You may have to give me a hand, that sucker.
What's wrong?
I think that booger's stuck.
Egg is stuck?
Yeah, it's hung up.
Yeah. What do you want me to do?
Give me a hand.
Give you a hand?
Yeah, just give me a hand.
Yeah.
By George, where is your other hand? Well, good grief. Don't laugh, lady. How'd you like to be in my place? She said she would. I'm in pain, man. You got a hangnail that's killing me.
I'll get it cut off.
Don't you dare.
Forget the egg.
I think I'm going to forget it.
Yeah, I want you to sing a song.
Yeah, I'd rather sing a song. I got a little love song tonight. I can't sing it. I got a sore throat.
Your throat sore?
Yeah, got a sore throat and I got a bad cold. Got a runny nose.
Don't do that. Where's your throat sore?
Right under there.
Oh, there?
Yeah.
That's sore?
Yeah, that's sore right there.
I'll rub it a little. Maybe it'll feel better.
Yeah, that feels good.
Then maybe you'll be able to sing.
Oh, that feels good. Keep that up, son. That feels good. Oh, boy, that feels good. Everybody's upside down.
Yeah.
They're all standing on their heads.
You're upside down. What is that lump in your throat? Is that your Adam's apple?
No, that's your wrist on the other hand, dummy.
What do you, boy, you really sneeze, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to get germs, spread germs all over the place. You shouldn't do that.
Huh?
You have to sneeze again, you tell me.
Tell you?
Yeah, and I'll put my hand over your mouth.
All right.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to sneeze again.
Right now?
Right now.
I'll get it. It's going to be a big one. I got it.
You got your hand over my mouth.
What?
You got your hand over my mouth.
That's so you won't sneeze.
Huh?
Going to hold on till the sneeze is all gone.
All gone.
What?
All gone.
All gone?
All gone.
Good.
Got you.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to sing a love song tonight.
Yeah. What's the name of it?
I call it I Couldn't Break Her Heart,
Yeah.
so I broke her leg.
That's not a love song.
No?
No. I've got a nice song picked out for you to sing for the folks. It's a little song called You Are My Sunshine.
Huh?
You are my sunshine.
I didn't know you cared.
No. That's the name of the song.
Oh, I know that song.
Yeah, well, go ahead and sing it.
I'd like to get the words.
Go ahead and sing it. I'll help you out.
All right.
Yeah.
You are my sunshine, my only sunshine.
You make me happy.
Huh?
You make me happy. You make me happy too. That's the next line of the song.
Oh, yeah. You make me happy when skies are gray.
You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. What? You'll never know, dear, how much I love you.
Well, kiss me, sugar lips. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. So please don't take my sunshine away. Thank you.
Thank you.
What time is it? Okay, gang, let's go. It's Howdy Doody time. Do it again. It's Howdy. Bob Smith and Howdy too. Bob Smith then. Say howdy do to you. Say howdy. Let's give a rousing cheer. Let's give a... 'cause Howdy Doody's here. It's time to start the show. It's time to... So kids, let's go. So kids, let's... Oh, you're a great gallery. Okay. Now, you needed a little help with the lyrics. Would you need any help if I said, oh, who's the funniest clown you know? You remembered. And who's the clown on Howdy Show? Well, his feet are big and his tummy's stout, but we could never do without Clara. Oh, yes, and who his fuzzy wuzzy hair. It's partly red, but mostly bare. And since the day that he was born, he's honked and honked and honked his horn. Clara. Now, you know, no matter where we go, sooner or later, somebody wants to know who was Clarabelle. Well, actually, we had 3 Clarabelles, and our first Clarabelle was Bobby Keeshan, who was later Captain Kangaroo. And he was the one that you saw here in this film a little bit earlier. So this was our third chorus. Oh, who was the clown on Howdy Do? Clara. And he now is Captain Kangaroo. And you can look all over town. He's got to be our favorite clown. Clara. You're a good gallery, and we're going to have a lot of fun tonight. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you. All right, well, thank you so much. It's a real thrill to be here. I want you to know that this show tonight was billed as the Puppet Guild of the Carolinas. And most of the people who have been on stage tonight, all of them, matter of fact, were either puppeteers or ventriloquists. And I don't know why they asked me to be here, because I'm neither a puppeteer nor a ventriloquist. Believe it or not, I was the only one on the Howdy Doody show who never operated a puppet. I was always on the floor working with the puppets who were on the stage. The puppeteers were all above on a puppet bridge operating the puppets. And I was not a ventriloquist because I moved my lips when I talked for Howdy. Now, when we first started the Howdy Doody show, I did Howdy live. Howdy would be here. There'd be a television set over here. Be one camera on just Howdy, one on just me, and one on both of us. And I'd say, what do you think, Howdy? And then when I'd see that they took the camera with just Howdy in the picture, he'd say, ho, I think you're right, Buffalo Bob. And then it was back to me. And I'd say, yes, Howdy. And Howdy'd say, ho. Well, now the kids would come in, they'd see the show, and they'd look from Howdy to me, and they'd say, well, who's talking for whom? See, Howdy lived as far as the kids were concerned. So we had to change the image. So what we did was record the puppets' voices, pre-recorded. When we started a show, a rehearsal rather, we would record all the puppets' speeches in sequence on a 33 1/3 acetate disc. We didn't have tape back in 1947. We had it on a disc, and we'd take about a 2.5 second pause between each puppet's voice, and then he'd finish the speech, and the engineer would hold his finger on the record. The turntable would keep going around, but he'd hold the record. And then when it was Howdy's turn to talk again, he'd lift his finger, and Howdy'd come in talking. And then when he was through speaking, he'd hold a record, and then I would speak, Howdy's turn. That's how we did. That's how primitive television was back in 1947 and 48. However, we would like to show you, if we may, the way we used to do this. Now, I pre-recorded a little something for Howdy Doody, and well, first of all, I've got to have someone to operate Howdy Doody, and we got probably one of the greatest in the world, our good friend who's done hours and hours and weeks and months of work to make this night possible, our good friend Conrad Hartz. Conrad Hart, come on. Thank you so much. All right, now, Conrad is going to help me, and Howdy is in the front row, back row. Well, Howdy was supposed to be here. We have the voice for Howdy, my good buddy over there doing the audio. He got Howdy ready to speak, but Howdy is coming up. And there's a boy. There. Thank you, Conrad. All right, now I would like to show you a little something that we planned for tonight. When we'd be on television, I would say, and this would be the control room over to my left, marvelous, marvelous person, and I would say, Howdy, do you remember all the great songs that we had on the Howdy Doody show you and I used to sing?
Oh,
remember
that's
those?
right, Buffalo Bob. And do you remember some of our Howdy Doody do's and don'ts?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, do, howdy doody do.
Oh, yes, but don't do a howdy doody don't.
Cause a howdy doody do will be good for you.
But a howdy doody don't won't. That's right.
Oh, and Buffalo Bob,
Yeah.
do you remember this?
What is it?
Well, if you think you use your feet when you cross us,
Ba-doodle-doo-doo.
here's a surprise.
Oh, yes, in the daytime or night, look around left and right and cross the street with your eyes.
If you look before you leap, you will always keep
Ba-doodle-doo-doo.
the health you prize.
Oh, yes.
Cause your pal Howdy knows
If you had 50 toes, you'd
you'd
stare across the street with your eyes.
Oh, and Buffalo Bob,
Yeah.
here's good advice for everybody.
Yeah, what is it?
Just as you have watched a squirrel store his food away,
Oh, yeah.
every boy and every girl should save for a rainy day. So save your pennies, soon you'll have a nickel.
And save your nickels, and soon you'll have a dime.
Save your dimes, and soon you'll have a quarter.
And a quarter ought to make you sort of glad you saved the dimes.
Save your quarters, soon you'll have a dollar.
And then you'll think that you were very smart.
'Cause the dollars, quarters, dimes, and nickels
Came from just a single penny, the one single penny, yes, the one single penny that you had at the start. And Howdy, do you like popcorn? I mean, you eat popcorn, don't you?
Oh, yes, sir, boy. Everybody likes popcorn.
Ah, sure. I love to pop, 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 popcorn. Poppity, 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 popcorn.
I want to hear it pop
Till it hits the top of the room, and then boom! I love to pop, 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 popcorn. Poppity, 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 popcorn. I'll open up a shop, and there I'll pop all day. And say, I'll pop until my shop is filled, and then I'll pop some more until I see my popcorn hop into the shop next door. I love to pop, 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 popcorn. Poppity, 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 popcorn. The best popcorn you'll ever eat. Oh yes, and while we want a treat, that's my poppity, 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 popcorn. Good, Howdy. And you know there's some boys and girls out there that I'll bet don't like to go to bed at night.
Well, yes, but Buffalo Bob, it's fun to go to bed when you sing this song.
I go to bed.
Go to bed.
I go to bed.
Go to bed.
Go to bed.
Go to bed. Be sure that you get yourself
a good night's rest. Oh, sure. I go to sleep.
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 And when you wake up, you'll feel you're very best.
Waiting for you to dream.
The dreams you dream will come true.
The bed from head to foot with sheets
so bright
and bright,
inviting
you
to go to bed,
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 and say your prayers with thanks
for such a perfect day. Good night.
Thank you, Howdy. Thank you, Conrad. A big hand for Conrad Hartz. Thank you. Thank you. And if we were loud, if we were live, Howdy would say, "Oh, Buffalo Bob, we'll see you on television." Okay, Howdy, thank you. Give the little fella a nice big hand. Thank you, Conrad. Thank you, everybody. You know, friends, we're going to play this as if you were all in my home as a little house party, or a big house party. Howdy was on the air from 1947 to 1960. I personally started in radio when I was 15 years old, back in 1943. That makes me 78 years old. But anyway, I did, thank you. Thank you. My wife says I'm 78 going on 40. I don't know if that's good or bad. But anyway, I've been in radio since I was 15 years old, and I did everything you could possibly do in radio until 1946 when I had my big chance to go to New York, and I did the early morning radio show on WNBC, which is probably the biggest station in the country. And I was on from 6 to 9 every morning, 3 hours every morning, Monday through Saturday. And then in March of 1947, NBC wanted a kids radio show. As a matter of fact, the whole block of Saturday morning from 9 to 12 booked for just kids shows. Paul Winchell and Jerry Mahoney did a half hour. Frank Luther, who made many records for children, did a half hour. I did a half hour, and my half hour was called the Triple B Ranch, and the 3 B's stood for Big Brother Bob. And I would have 4 kids from one school vying against 4 kids from another school in a sort of a comedy quiz program. They had wooden horses. The 4 kids from one school would be on one horse, on another horse, 4 kids from another school. And we had the sort of comedy questions. And the kids would bring their schoolmates there, and they'd root for each other. And my writer said to me one day, Bob, we need some comedy on the show. Do you do any voices? So he went into the control room, and we came upon this country bumpkin type character that we called a Mortimer Mercedes type character, really. We called Elmer. And I'd say, oh, here's Elmer. Hi, Elmer. And he'd say, oh, well, howdy doody. And then we did a couple of hee-haw type jokes. And I'd always wind up and I'd say, well, we'll see you later, Elmer. And he'd say, well, howdy doody. Well, now we had a limited budget. Did you ever hear those words? You know what a limited budget is? It was so limited we didn't have a dummy or a puppet or anything. We just used the voice. So NBC Television was looking to do a kids show on television. They watched a couple of our radio shows and they thought, gee, this could be a great idea. We were going to do a puppet show. We'll make another puppet. We'll call him Howdy Doody. We've got some old-time silent films. You can narrate them. We'll have some kids in the clubhouse. We didn't have a peanut gallery back then, just a clubhouse. And this is how the entire Howdy Doody show started. It was December 23rd, 1947, a Tuesday afternoon. NBC came into my dressing room and they said, look, we'd like to do the show starting Sunday. I said, Sunday? No, maybe Saturday. Saturday had better, maybe Saturday from 5 to 6. Now this is on the 27th. We told about it on the 23rd. We said, fine. I said, what do we do? And they said, well, we want Howdy there. Well, we didn't have a puppet. I said, well, we don't have a puppet. Well, we got to have Howdy there. Well, we pretended that Howdy Doody was in my desk drawer on the first show. And the camera took a picture of my desk drawer, and I'd say, you in there, Howdy? And he'd say, oh, yeah, but I'm too bashful to come out. Well, he was too bashful for 3 weeks until we made a Howdy Doody. And the third week, we opened the door, out came Howdy Doody, and that was how the whole thing started. It was a wild story, and you see, everything was so primitive back then. And we had these hot, hot, hot lights. The cameras were so inferior, we had something like 1,400 or 1,500 foot candle of light. And then as the cameras improved, the lights got cooler. And then in 1946, when we had what they called the cool lights, we were on in color every day. Back to the inferior cameras and back to the more lights than we had when we had the black and white. Then as soon as everything got better, the cameras got better, we had cool lights. In 1960, we went off the air. So we didn't win. But anyway, we're going to play this like a nice house party, and if any of you have any questions you'd like to ask me, I'd be very, very happy to answer. Just hold up your hand if you have anything you'd like to ask about Howdy or me or any of the gang. Yes, right here. Who wrote all the music? That's a good question. Eddie Keene was our writer for the first 6.5 years, and he and I wrote all the songs that we did together. And we have a big album coming out called Buffalo Bob's Kids Are Kids album. We have 15 songs on the album. We have a beautiful orchestral background, and I sing the songs, some of them alone and some with a group of girls we call the Buffalettes. You like that? Buffalo Bob and the Buffalettes. And then after our 15 songs, we have just the orchestral accompaniment so that the kids can sing the songs along with the orchestral background. So it's going to be on the market very, very soon, and it's going to be big. Warner Brothers is doing the album, and with a CD along with it. Yes, anybody else have a... Yes, sweetheart. Did he operate Howdy? Not on the show. No, we had, everybody, I'd say everybody. We had, 10 or 12 different puppeteers that operated Howdy. But Conrad did it as well, if not better than anybody that else operated. I'll tell you that. He was wonderful. Yes, anybody? Yes, this... Oh, you have to go to the toilet? Honey, it's right around there and up to it. Oh, bless you. Well, yes, sir, this gentleman. What happened to Chief Thunderthud? Chief Thunderthud, Bill LaCornick was his name. He also talked for Dilly Dally, and he did live characters like Oil Well Willie, Dr. Sing-A-Song, Chief Thunderthud. He now lives in Hollywood, California, and he has a job with Smirnoff vodka. He tests it to taste whether it's 80 or 100 proof. It's called a firewater. No, Bill is very happy, and I'll tell you something. We're all looking forward to next year because this will be our 50th anniversary. Don't laugh. We started in 1947, so next year being 97, it's going to be 50 years, and we're having a big, big extravaganza. Universal is coming out with a full-length movie that will be shown in the movie houses. It's a big, big thrill for all of us, and I just hope we live another year to see it. But it'll be wonderful. It's thank you so much. It's great. Anybody else have any questions? Yes, it's back here. What was it? Who made Howdy Doody? Okay. When we started the show, one of our vice presidents was from California, and he knew most of the personnel from Disneyland. And we got on the telephone one night, and we called this lady whose name was Velma Dawson. And he said, Velma, I told him about the whole story. He said, now we're going to tell you how Howdy Doody sounds, and then you tell us how you think he should look. And over the phone, I gave her the Howdy Doody voice, and within 3 days, she had 4 or 5 designs of different faces and said, which one would you like for Howdy? And the minute we saw the one that we have here, we said, that's it, go to work. She went to work. It took her 3 weeks to make that head. Head was made in California. The body was made in New York. We got the head, put the head on the body, and that's when Howdy was in the drawer and came out for the first time and said, ho, howdy doody, boys and girls, like that. Thank you. Anybody else? Yes, this gentleman right here. What, hon? Who made Clarabelle? We weren't that intimate. I wouldn't know. That's a cute story. All right, Bobby Keeshan was a page at NBC. I did the early morning radio show. His desk was right outside of my office, and he used to take people on tour. Then it was a very coveted job. Everybody wanted to be a page at NBC. People that had aspirations to be in radio or television would like to be have a job being a page, because they'd meet people in the industry and maybe they could get a job doing something for them. So he told me that his 6 months were up. You were only allowed to be a page for 6 months. Would I have any use for him? So I said, well, what are you making? He said, $40 a week. I said, well, I can pay you $40 a week if you just handle song pluggers or sharpen pencils for me or whatever. So he was my gopher, if you will. We did our first television show. He held my cue cards for me, printed them. And one day he happened to walk on camera, and the boss saw it, and he said, hey, that guy that walked on camera with a T-shirt? Yeah. He said, is that good television? I said, well, I need it. He said, well, look, if he's going to walk on television, tell him to dress up like something. So he went into the prop room, and the only thing that fit him was this zebra-striped clown suit. So we put that on him, and he used to walk on the show with a clown suit, and one day I said, thank you, Bobby. He said, you're welcome, Bob. And the boss said, hey, that clown? I said, yeah. He said, he talked. I said, well, sure he talked. What? He said, don't let him talk. He says, if he talks, we're going to have to pay him actor's scale. So I said, Bobby, the next time you come on camera, don't talk, okay? He said, I didn't have anything to say anyway. I said, fine, don't talk. In March of 1948, Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey Circus came to Madison Square Garden. Every day we'd get an act from them, and they used to perform on the show, and we'd plug the circus, of course. And one day we had 2 of the greatest clowns in the world, Felix Adler and Emmett Kelly. And they came in before the show, and they saw Keeshan sitting there with just this clown suit. He was a clown from here down, nothing up. They said, well, why isn't he a clown all over? And I said, what do you mean? We told them the story, and they said, we know what we'll do on the show today. We'll make him a clown. They brought along a pate, put it on his head, gave him a big bulbous nose, gave him the makeup. We christened him Clarabelle. He wasn't allowed to talk, so we gave him a box with a yes horn and a no horn. And that was the beginning of Clarabelle, and he didn't talk because it started out being cheaper that way. Well, you're a great gallery. Now, you've asked me a lot of questions. I'm going to ask you a few questions. How many of you have ever taken music lessons of any kind? Let me see. Nearly everybody. Well, that's marvelous. Well, I did too. We can lower the lights now, if you will, please. You know, I was 8 years old when I took my first piano lesson. My dad insisted that I play piano. So I took my first piano lesson from our organist at church. And I was 8 years old. I roller skated over, and I just couldn't wait to get home, and said to my mom and dad, wait till you hear me play the piano. And I brought them all into the living room, and I said, listen to what I can play. And I sat down and I played. And my brother said, but that's a baby song. And I said, okay, I won't play the piano anymore. But my teacher said, but Robert, you can't forget that all the great composers, Ludwig van Beethoven, Johann Sebastian Bach, Friedrich Chopin, all of them, when they were 8 years old, they too used to play chopsticks. So that night, I had a dream, and I dreamed that my mom and dad took me to Carnegie Hall for a concert. And on stage was the craziest peanut gallery you ever saw in your life. All these great musicians, all 8 years old. Little Ludwig van Beethoven, Dickie Wagner, they called him Little Richard. There was Freddie Chopin, and all these kids came up to play chopsticks. And I'd like to, if I may, show you the way some of these little boys perform. Now, first of all, there was little 8-year-old Ludwig van Beethoven. Now, Ludwig lived up on the 3rd floor of this little old house in Bonn, Germany, and the moon used to shine in his bedroom window at night. And actually, Ludwig was moonstruck when he was only 8 years old. And little Ludwig got up to the piano and played chopsticks. Thank you, that was little Ludwig. And then next was little Dickie Wagner. Now, Dickie, on the Saturday before, was the flower boy for his sister's wedding. And little Dickie remembered the step that the pastor told him how to walk up to the piano. And he got up and he played chopsticks. And then next was little Johnny Stroud. Pardon me. Now, Johnny's father had a butcher shop. Excuse me. And little Johnny was a big kid, and he was born over in Germany, and he played chopsticks like this. Thank you so much. And then there was another little kid, very nervous little kid. His name was Wolfie Mozart. Wolfie Mozart. He was one of the gang. Oh. And little Wolfie was very nervous. He thought playing piano was very silly. But he got up there and oh, he played chopsticks. That's like that. Thank you. Thank you. Little Wolfie was nervous, but not nearly as nervous as Freddie Chopin. Freddie had what they called a musical tick. He would always get these little ticks and throw in funny notes when he played. And little Freddie got up at the piano and chopsticks. Like. Thank you. Oh, you're a great audience. Thank you so much. And then probably the best of all the pianists was little Johnny Bach. And Johnny was so great because he could read music so well. They could put a piece of music in front of him. He'd play it the first time, sight read it like he'd been playing it for 20 years, you know. And so because he was so great, he was very indifferent about playing. Didn't want to play the piano, but he sat down there and And then, to close the show, was this big Russian-Polish boy, Sergei Rachmaninoff. Biggest 8-year-old kid you ever saw in your life. He went out with girls 11, 12, one was 13. big Russian-Polish boy. And he thought that playing pianos was strictly for sissy kids, you know. And he hated to play the piano. But his father insisted that he play the piano. He thought, I'll play the piano, but they'll never ask me to play it again because I'm going to break it. So Sergei Rachmaninoff got up all 8 years old of him and he went, ooh, I hate this thing. I did it. Thank you so much. Now, as I said before, that was a dream that I had when I was 8 years old. But about 2 years ago, I redreamed the whole dream. Only sitting next to little Johnny Bach was little Bertie Bacharach. And little Bertie Bacharach didn't like the way these great composers were lousing up a great song like Chopsticks, you know. So little Bertie thought, I'm going to play Chopsticks the way it was supposed to have been played. And this is how little Bertram played it. Thank you very much. All right, well, I did bring along a few film clips tonight that I would like to show you. They all have a very special meaning. In 1941, or 51, excuse me, 1951, we had a Howdy Doody look-alike contest. And we had hundreds of prizes to the winner. And I didn't want any part of picking the winner, neither did NBC, so we had Life magazine decide on who was going to be the winner. Well, we had over 250,000 pictures that were sent in, over 250,000 entries, cutest pictures you ever saw in your life. Little girls with pigtails wanted to look like Howdy Doody. Little black kids with white freckles wanted to look like Howdy Doody. It was the cutest pictures that I've ever seen in my life. Well, the little boy that won, his name was Billy Altman, and he was from Long Island, and he looked so much like Howdy Doody, you can't believe it. I really felt sorry for the little kid. But he was the cutest kid that I think I ever saw in my life. Well, now that happened in 1951. Nothing was done about it other than this great spread we had in Life magazine. And I was on the Sally Jesse Raphael show about 2 years ago. And I'm going to show you a film clip as it happened on the Sally Jesse Raphael show. Watch this.
You had a contest to pick the young man who looked the most like Howdy, did you know?
Yeah, this is a Howdy Doody look-alike contest, and I guess we had over 250,000 entries. And we didn't want the responsibility to pick the winner, so Life magazine did this in conjunction with us. We had a big spread in Life of all these kids that sent in these funny pictures. But the little fellow that won it, I believe he was about 5 years old. His name was Billy Altman. Oh. And he looked so much like Howdy Doody, you couldn't believe it. One of the sweetest kids I've ever seen in my life.
And
Billy
here he
Altman.
is today,
No.
all grown up.
No, Billy! Now, that was a complete surprise to me. I absolutely flipped when I saw that big Billy Altman, because he was a big Billy Altman. Now, you know, no matter where I play, when we get into questions and answers, people say, now, you were live every day, weren't you? And I said, yes, we were. And they said, well, there were no erasers on the pencils. No, we couldn't edit anything. We couldn't chop out anything. So they said, well, what was the most embarrassing thing that ever happened on the show? And I said, well, actually, there were two things that I can think of, one that I can tell and one that I cannot tell. So first I'll tell you the one that I can tell. The one that I can tell was on a Halloween night. It was in the early 50s, and because it was Halloween, we had the entire set decorated with black cats and goblins and pumpkins and whatever. And during the course of our show, we always had an old-time movie at the end of it. And we'd turn down the lights, cool down the studio, and everybody would stand around and look at the monitors and watch the old-time movie, which I would be narrating. I would be sitting in the peanut gallery, and the kids would be sitting above me. And while I was telling about this movie about an old man who was asleep all the time, and I nicknamed him Rip Van Winkle. So I'm telling the kids about old Rip, and the little kid sneaked out of the peanut gallery and tugged in my pant leg, and I said, what's wrong, Sonny? And he said, Buffalo Bob, I've got to tinkle. Well, obviously, I couldn't go tinkling with the kid. I had to tell about the movie. So I pointed to one of the cameramen that wasn't doing anything, thinking that the kid would go over and get himself a tinkle partner. But in the same direction that I was pointing was our puppet stage. And on the floor in front of the puppet stage was this tremendous lighted pumpkin. So I guess the little kid thought I was pointing toward the pumpkin because he proceeded to go over and put out the candle. Now, I didn't see this, but the cameraman, everybody saw it, and they were hysterical. And the kids in the peanut gallery saw it, and one little kid got up and said, Buffalo Bob, Sissy and the pumpkin! And I got up and saw this little kid standing there, and I was absolutely convulsed. I was on the floor. I couldn't talk. I crawled off the stage on my hands and knees. Dayton Allen, one of our puppeteers, came down off of the puppet stage. He did the closing commercial, the narration on the film, said goodbye to the kids. I didn't come back till the next night. Now, when the show was over, the NBC switchboard lit up like a Christmas tree. Everybody called in, what was so funny on the Howdy Doody show? We're watching the show about a guy who was asleep all the time. Nothing funny to laugh at all. All of a sudden, everyone was hysterical. Movie was over. Buffalo Bob was gone. What happened? We got hundreds of letters, and the boss said, we've got to answer these people. What are we going to say? So we wrote the following poem we sent out. It said, so many of you ask what happened on the night of Halloween when everyone was hysterical and Buffalo Bob had to leave the scene. It was during an old-time movie about a man named Rip Van Winkle when a 4-year-old boy from the gallery told Bob that he had to tinkle. Well, Buffalo Bob couldn't take him, so he pointed to someone who could, but the little kid didn't follow directions. He just walked to a pumpkin and stood. Now, the rest of the story is obvious. We didn't even need a mop because our little friend had great aim and he never spilled a drop. Thank you. Now, that's the story that I can tell. Now, the one that I cannot tell, besides our Howdy Doody television show, we also had a Howdy Doody radio show. So 2 or 3 nights a week, we'd take the kids out of the peanut gallery after the television show into a recording studio, and we would record for the Saturday morning radio show. So we had some 40 kids on stage, and we'd always have a provocative question. Oh, questions like, if you could be any kind of an animal in the world, what kind of an animal would you like to be and why? Well, the kids will come up with funny things, you know. Well, this particular morning, we tried to find out how parents punish their children when they had done something wrong. So first we'd ask the kids if they'd done anything wrong, and then what was the punishment? Like, did you get locked in the bathroom or whatever, you know. So we get these kids, did you ever do anything wrong? And no kid said he did anything worse than take a pencil away from brother, or pull sister's hair, or sneak a cookie, and it wasn't going anywhere. And I said, look, kids, cut the tape, will you please? So they held the tape, and I said, think of the worst thing in the world you could do. You parents don't mind, do you? I mean, the kids were afraid to say they'd done something really bad, and then they'd go home and get a spanking for something they had done 6 months ago, you know? So I said, kids, think of the worst thing you could do, okay? Roll the tape? Fine, to roll the tape. So I said, what's your name, little fella? He said, Kenneth. I said, Kenny, did you ever do anything wrong? He said, I farted. And I said, I see. And then you probably got a spanking. And I wanted to get rid of the kid because I didn't want to look at him. I didn't want to laugh. So I got the next little kid. Now, what's your name? And he said, Teddy. And I looked into the control room, and everyone was down on the floor. Looked out in the audience, and people were down like, well, if you think I laughed during the pumpkin episode, you should hear me laugh during this episode. Now, as I said, this was radio and not television. So you are going to hear the audio of exactly what happened. The picture will be inconsequential, but we'll look at it anyway. They just put a picture of something so that you'd have something to look at. But listen to exactly what happened, radio 1952, please.
What's your name, little fella?
Kenneth.
How old are you, Kenneth?
5.
5. Kenny, did you ever do anything wrong?
I farted.
I see. And you think they should get the spanking then, huh?
No.
Okay, thank you very much, little fella. And what's your name?
Teddy Nowak.
Teddy. And how old are you, Teddy?
6.
And did you ever do anything wrong?
I forgot what I did wrong.
Come over, Mr. Talk to the boys a minute.
What happened, Buffalo?
I brought the tape home to my wife, and believe me, must have played it 5 times, and I laughed just as hard every time I heard the tape. Now, I did this at Georgia Tech about, in the early 70s. One of the students says, Buffalo Bob, do you have any idea what these little boys are doing now? And I said, well, yes. I said, my secretary kept a peanut file on most of the kids that ever appeared on the show, the outstanding kids. And this little boy with the pumpkin was really outstanding over the pumpkin. And we learned that this little pumpkin boy, his name is Dickie. Dickie Peters, or was it Peter Dickey? I'm not sure. But anyway, he is now 52 years old, and he lives in East Orange, New Jersey, and he works for the volunteer fire department there. Kid is still putting him out. And little Kenneth, the boy with the problems there, he lives in Chicago. He's 54 years old. Kenny lives in Chicago. He would, because that's the Windy City. You'll never believe this. He works for the gas company there in Chicago. Oh, you're a great gallery. All right, now I'm going to play for you one of the most traumatic experiences on the Howdy Doody show. Clarabelle never talked for 2,542 shows. And on the last show, it was an hour special, and he held up a sign that said surprise. And for the entire hour special, we were trying to figure out what was the big surprise. And finally, we had about 20 seconds to go, and I said, Clarabelle, you got to, what is the big surprise? And he went, you mean you can talk? Yeah, you can talk. Well, say something, say something. And the camera dollied in on him, and watch what happened. This is our last television show, September 24, 1960.
Well, Clarabelle, kids, tell me, are you ready for the big surprise? You are? All right, Clarabelle, tell me now. What is the surprise? Please, quick, what is it? What? You mean you can talk?
Oh, wait, golly, I don't believe it.
You can talk. Well, Clarabelle, this is your last chance. Now, Clarabelle, if you can talk, prove it. Let's hear you say something.
Goodbye, kids.
We taped that show about 3 weeks before it was on the air. And when the show was over, believe me, there wasn't a dry eye in the studio. But we all went out and we had a party with the Waldorf Astoria. Had a lovely party. We thought it'd be a matter of, 6 months before we were back on the air again. But anyway, 3 weeks later came the date of broadcast. They telecast that show. It was at 10 o'clock on a Saturday morning. And my 6-year-old son, Chris, my wife, Mill, and I were watching the show. And when he said, goodbye, kids, I looked at Chris. Tears were coming down. Mill was sobbing. And I went out and shot the worst round of golf that I ever played in my life. But we had a wonderful run, and we have a lot to be grateful for. Now, Perry Como was on every Saturday night, and he'd always close his show and say, goodbye, everybody, see you in church. And I thought, what a nice thing to say. I'm going to say that Friday evening when we get off our show. I said, well, kids, we'll see you in church or Sunday school. Well, I said it for 2 weeks, and you don't know the flack that I got. I said, you can't say that. There are a lot of people that don't have church, they don't have Sunday school. You can't say that. Well, I'm German, I'm stubborn. I wanted church bells ringing, I wanted the organ playing, and I wanted to say it. They said, you can't do it, you're going to hurt somebody. Well, I worked and worked and worked till I got something that was approved by everybody. People threatened to boycott the products, they did everything. And we said on the show something, I had the church bells ringing in the background, I had the organ playing, and this is what we said. Now you listen and see if you can find any fault, regardless of your religion or your creed or your beliefs. This is the way we closed every one of our shows from that time forward. Listen to this.
Kids, when you hear the church bells ringing this weekend, well, that's to remind you to enjoy our country's great freedom, the freedom to worship the way you wish, anytime, any place. And so, boys and girls, for Howdy and me,
You tell Mom that you'd like to go to Sunday school.
Right.
Or to your place of worship.
Okay.
Bye,
Bye.
kids. See you next
Bye.
Saturday.
Now, there's one thing that we haven't mentioned here tonight, and that was that, well, when I stated earlier that Howdy was on the air from 47 to 60, we did nothing Howdy Doody-wise from 1960 till 1970, and then I received a telephone call from one of the students at the University of Pennsylvania, and he said, we'd like to have you come here and do a show for our graduate students. Well, I thought he was putting me on. I said, what do you want me to do? And he says, oh, wear your costume, bring along a film if you have it of the show, and we'll sing some of your Howdy Doody songs, and we'd like to ask you questions. He says, in short, we'd like to relive our happy, carefree childhood days. Now, this was 1970, which was a tough year for college students. It was Vietnam, draft card burning, Kent, dope becoming more prevalent in schools. Kids would graduate with several degrees, couldn't get a job. They'd go back and take another course in basket weaving or whatever. They were professional students. Well, reluctantly, I went to the University of Pennsylvania, and it was one of the most thrilling times that I ever had in my life. I had such wonderful press from the Philadelphia Inquirer and the Bulletin, and when they played the film and these kids would die at my pointing with the pointer to the little white squiggle on top of the Hostess cupcakes, I knew we were going to have a good time. Well, that started a whole trend, and from 1970 to 1976, I did over 400 colleges, but we updated the material. I would say to the kids, now these are college students, I'm going to sing the rhyming song. That's all you've got to know. I've told you all. Now help me out. So if you're ready, gang, let's go. Now we know what doggy says. Oh, you got to say bow wow. What, did you forget? Now come on, do it nice. Now come on. Now we know what doggy says. Why, certainly. We know what kitten says. And we know that milk comes from a... You'd be surprised where some of the kids said milk comes from. Didn't even rhyme. But you got the... See what a college education will do for you. But, and that's the rhyming song. Then we'd update it and we'd say, now Jack and Jill went up the... Now every morning Jill feels... 'Cause she forgot to take her... Yeah, we didn't do that on Howdy Doody, did we? Of course, we didn't know about the pill either. But then we still updated it. We would say stuff like, Dan Marino throws a forward. Now, don't laugh now. Dean Martin used to hoist a... That's right. And Roseanne has a lot of... No, class! It's class. Now, come on, you got to do it right, or I'm not going to do this thing. That's a howdy doody don't. A do, a howdy doody don't. But come on, come on. Let's do it nice. It's your last chance. We know that 2 and 2 are... What's left of the apple is the... And Madonna really is a... No, a bore! She's a... Did you ever see Madonna? I'm not going to do any more. I love you all. And now I'm going to close the show with the way I did to all of my college students. And And I should say my Howdy Doody alumni. I don't like the word yuppies or baby boomers. I like Howdy Doody alumni, a little more class, you know. So all of you, my Howdy Doody alumni, I'd like to say that probably some of the happiest years of your lives were when you were from, say, 2 to 11. You'd sit on the floor, you'd watch television. You were in seventh heaven. Some days you'd start watching at dawn when the American flag would unfurl. And they couldn't get you to bed until 9 o'clock. That was after Milton Berle. Oh, we're the men from Texaco. We work from Maine to Mexico. We're always busy servicing your cars. And here he is, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Television, Milton Berle. I'll swear I'll kill you 1,000,000 times. But ladies and gentlemen, there's just one place for me, ladies and gentlemen, and that's near you. You watched The Merry Mailman. There was Fodini, Lucky Pup. You even attended a romper room party. And they couldn't tear you away from the set when the movie was Laurel and Hardy. And you remember Hopalong Cassidy, the cowboy star? There was also Soupy Sales. And do you recall how Roy Rogers and Dale would sign off with Happy Trails? Come on. Happy trails to you, everybody, until we meet again. Happy trails to you. Keep smiling until end. Happy trails. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I just want to tell you that my wife, Mill, looked forward to being here so much tonight. And last Sunday night, we went to a restaurant, and she thought she was on the bottom stair leaving, and she wasn't. And she turned her ankle. We thought she broke it, but she tore her ligaments very badly. And she is in a cast from just above her toes up to her knees, so she couldn't make it tonight. She will love this. Thank you all so very, very much. I love you. Thank you.
And everyone in here wants to thank Conrad Hartz for making this magical night happen. Thank you, Conrad.
Whoa! Ladies and gentlemen, the Dean of the University of South Carolina Beaufort campus, Mr. Chris Powell.
Buffalo Blob. Buffalo Bob. You brought back many memories tonight.
Well, thank you so much.
Many memories. I know as a Howdy Doody alumnus and the millions of Howdy Doody alumni across the globe, and there are lots of them in this room tonight. As a matter of fact, this room has not been this full for any of our cultural series events. I want you to know that there are people in this auditorium that have never been here before, and we are grateful for your visit to Beaufort and to the University of South Carolina, Beaufort. And on behalf of all of the Beaufort Howdy Doody alumni, we want to present you a key to our fair city, designed by our master artists, Ron Kay and Carol, and we hope you'll come back often. We love you, Buffalo Bob, and we love Howdy Doody.
And I would like to tell you what it says. It says, it's always Howdy Doody time in Beaufort, South Carolina. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dean.
Is Councilman Bill Ryle here? Come on up. Give him a hand.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Buffalo Bob. Thanks for coming to Beaufort. You're always welcome. The Guild is always welcome.
Thank you so much.
We have a proclamation from the city. If you'd like me to read it for you. It says, whereas Buffalo Bob Smith and Howdy Doody have entertained children and adults throughout America from 1947 through 1960, And whereas they have provided countless opportunities to laugh and enjoy wholesome fun for 13 wonderful years. And whereas the phrase, "It's Howdy Doody time," will always bring a smile to our hearts, now therefore, the City Council of the City of Beaufort, South Carolina hereby proclaims Saturday, March 2nd, 1996 as Buffalo Bob and Howdy Doody Appreciation Day in the City of Beaufort, and on behalf of the citizens of Beaufort and the Puppetry Guild of Carolinas, we extend to you a hearty welcome to our city. In witness thereof, I hereto affixed my hand and caused the seal of the City of Beaufort to be affixed this 27th day of February 1966. And Buffalo Bob, we have the key to the city here, right here for you.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Mayor. I'm very untouched.
Well, thank you. Come back, and the guild come back too. Conrad, you come back. I appreciate it very much. You want to say anything?
I just want to say I love you all. I promise that my wife Mill and I are going to be here the next chance that we can get. And I want to thank all of you for being with us. Thank you so much. Love you. Thank you. Thanks so much.
Good night, everybody.